Ever since it opened some 25 years ago, Talladega International Speedway in Alabama has been the backdrop for flat-out, foot-to-the-wood Winston Cup racing. It's also been the site of high-speed record runs, including Lynn St. James' 200-mile-per-hour-plus performance in a race-prepared Ford Thunderbird. Saab has signed on as a believer in the promotional impact of pursuing and setting speed and endurance records. 10 years ago, Saab set 21 international speed and endurance records and 2 world records at Talladega with 3 box-stock Saab 9000 turbos. In October of 1996, Saab took the bit squarely in its teeth once again at Talladega with an unusual approach to the record run strategy. Along with Saab test drivers, over 100 international automotive journalists took turns at the wheel of 6 Saab 900s, hoping to break Saab's existing records and set almost 24 more. The cars were selected at random from Saab's assembly line in Trollhättan, Sweden. The engines and transmissions were sealed immediately. Other than a racing roll cage, special seats, and safety harnesses, the cars were completely unmodified. The plan was to break the existing 25,000-mile speed distance record set by Saab 10 years ago, plus daily performance records running for 12 consecutive hours at top speed. In all, the 6 Saabs would log 38,000 laps around Talladega's 2.6-mile superspeedway during an 8-day marathon. With officials from NASCAR and the FIA providing the instrumentation and verification of the record runs, all that was left now was for the teams to belt up and hit the track.
3, 2, 1.
It would be easy to assume that driving flat out on a relatively empty racetrack without a whole lot going on around you would be fairly uncomplicated. However, at speeds approaching 140 miles per hour, lap after lap after lap, a driver must maintain every bit of his concentration.
Yeah, you know, it maybe looks easy here, but when you're getting up in the speed over 200, near 250 kilometers, and there's so much traffic around here, you really have to be on the top, looking forward and looking backward at the same time. For, as you know, if something happens in that speed, it can hurt you.
After day one, it appeared that all was going well, and the Saabs were well on their way to once again getting into the record books. And the non-professional test drivers were impressing everyone.
Well, as you know, one of the cars is driven by our own people, and the other 5 cars, they are driven by guest drivers. That is the journalists that we have been inviting here, and I'm very impressed with their performance. And you will see later tonight at the prize giving that they really have done a good job. Magnificent.
After each car headed into the pits for service, fuel was added, tire pressures were checked, oil levels were checked, and driver changes were made when scheduled. And for most of these journalists-turned-test drivers, this was the first time they had driven this fast at night, let alone for hours on end. And what does a 140-mile-an-hour lap look like at Talladega? Well, if you were riding on the front bumper of a Saab 900 Turbo, it would look like this. Several times during the night, early in the going, the weather threw a slight curveball at the testers, and there was some concern among the onlookers as to how the drivers would handle unfriendly conditions.
For tonight, so far it's going really good, and we hope we not have the bad weather conditions tonight that we had the other night. They have promised us that there is a big chance for thunderstorms, maybe severe thunderstorms, and that's of course not what we want. So they tell us maybe at 10 o'clock it's going to be here. We are hoping it's not going to be so, but you know, never know. Can't do anything about the weather, can you?
Despite several downpours, the Saab team completed the 8-day grind. And as the individual runs ended during both the daylight and evening hours of October 24th, no less than 40 new records had been set, and the 10-year-old 25,000-mile record set 10 years earlier had been broken.
Here he goes, folks.
It's the big moment.
Big moment.
Okay, car number one, you have now completed 25,000 miles. Put on your hazard.
10-4 NASCAR scoring control. 25,000 miles on car number one. A new world record.
The new speed mark, 140.709 miles per hour, a full 7.5 miles per hour faster than the previous mark, and only 3 unscheduled repairs for the entire 8-day session. Will other manufacturers take a shot at Saab's new speed and endurance marks? Probably, but in the meantime, the folks at Saab are pretty happy.
And we have a damn good product.